So today we are going to talk about the impact of AI on different job profiles. So on all the chat windows, wherever this was shared, I specifically told this webinar is not about IT, not about the IT jobs. It is an overall job market and the impact on every job type. That is the subject of today's session. So anyone and everyone can take something out of this session. And I prepared this session using some research information. So nothing of anyone's opinion, because these days what's happening is wherever the name AI comes, almost everyone is becoming an expert and everyone is started giving their opinions. And those opinions are so strong and so many people are really confused, and it is creating a kind of a fearful atmosphere. People are afraid of their losing their job. There is a reality and also there is a myth. And because so many opinions available, so many uh, types of op-eds are written, so many videos are being made on YouTube, and everyone is behaving as if he or she is an expert of the entire job market, especially the IT job market. So I don't want to give my opinion because there are so many opinions already available. My take today is we are going to some of the research institutions, and we are going to understand what the research shows. So for this particular session, I started with the Harvard research. So what the Harvard research says about the white collar jobs. And I have seen the research from Yale University, Yale, Harvard, Princeton. These are all the top international universities, especially American universities, the top American universities. And these universities are not going to just throw their opinions. If they say something, there will be a data backed up. So there are multiple research was done, but in every research, the common understanding, common conclusion is this, what we see on the screen. There's been much speculation about AI potential to eliminate the jobs, right? But in the bracket, it says little evidence. So for example, someone is saying, oh, all the jobs are being wiped out and there are no more jobs. Everyone is going to be unemployed. So that is the myth. What is the fact? The fact is there are some jobs which may be wiped out. And why there is so much panic? Another question, right? For example, recently Oracle fired 30,000 people. That is the news headline. Everyone is panic. First of all, Oracle is a big company, and that company is hiring so many people every day, and they have hired a lot of people in last so many years. How many people they have fired? That is the headline. 30,000 people. And in out of those 30,000 people, 12,000 people in India. So there is a panic. Definitely there will be panic because the number is high. But the question is, when they have fired those many people, why did they fire? So recently there was another article, another opinion that says Oracle is trying to invest some billions of dollars in AI and they need money. So they have fired people. When they fired people, they did not see whether this person is really useful, not useful, this particular project is useful or not useful. They have fired people just like that. That is their problem. What our takeaway is, they are firing people not because AI is replacing them. They are firing people because they need money. So it is their problem. It is one company problem. Out of so many companies in the world, Oracle is one of the employer. Of course, it is a big employer, but it is only one out of so many companies. So what Harvard research says here is the AI might be replacing only like 13% of the jobs, but it is creating 20% of the jobs. That is the bottom line from Harvard research. I checked the Yale research. There also I see similar numbers, like 12% or 14% of the jobs are being removed or eliminated because of AI, but 20% of jobs are created because of AI. So this is the message I have received from various research organizations, universities. So that is the number one. And the second thing is, what are the different types of jobs available in the market? Because whenever we say job, one uh, conversation among the IT professionals or the engineering college students or the white collar job professionals is all about sophisticated jobs or professional jobs. But first of all, the question is, what are the different types of jobs we have in the world? So broadly, I created a small uh, image here. You can see this, Shoaib.
Yes, yes, we can see
Yeah.
Fasiuddin.
So this one I just now created. So okay, see here. So what are the different types of jobs we have in the world, right? The broad category is IT versus non-IT or white collar versus non-white collar, right? Because majority of the people in last 20-25 years are trying to move from non-IT to IT. For example, in 1995, 1997, a lot of people who used to work in the government sector, they left those jobs and moved into IT. For example, we used to have a customs officer, police officer, or some defense department engineer. They all left their jobs and moved into IT. So the broader category there was non-IT job versus IT job, and white collar versus non-white collar. So these people were white collar people. A customs officer was a white collar people. Senior accountant in a big government office is a white collar person. He used to sit in the office and do his job, and he moved into IT because he want to be in white collar mode. He don't want to go from non-white collar to white collar to non-white collar. White collar job he is leaving and coming into IT, another white collar job. Why? The reason was, in those days the government job was paying less and the IT job was paying 5 times or 10 times more than his government job. So they all moved from government white collar job to IT white collar job. So if you just go to Google and try to find out different types of jobs, this is what you see: the professional jobs, skilled jobs, service jobs, IT jobs, support jobs, and creative jobs. In next part of my segment, we are going to talk about which jobs are getting affected due to AI. That's why I am giving this small introduction on types of jobs. The professional jobs are like engineering job, medical job, law jobs, right? Those are the categories in professional jobs. In skilled jobs, you will see electrician, mechanical, plumber, welder, the people who are working on the ground. Most of them are non-white collar job. There may be some white collar jobs in those categories also. And the service jobs are, you go to a shop and someone is doing standing at the checkout and filling the shop racks, or uh, they are like food items, freezers, all those things. People are working there. Food industry, for example, someone is working in a restaurant and all those things. And IT jobs are mostly white collar jobs. The developers, data scientists, business analysts, scrum masters, everything is a white collar job in IT world. That is the reason majority of the people were trying to move to IT. Another reason people were trying to move to IT was the pay. And the support jobs like customer support, healthcare workers, sales jobs. These are the support jobs. Most of them need not be a white collar. There may be some white collar in that. And the creative jobs like designing, marketing, graphic designer, photographers, these are the different types of creative or art type of jobs. So these are the major categories when we are trying to categorize the jobs. Next, we go to the next slide here. So my whole presentation is coming from the anthropic research. So these days, the research became easy because of the AI, and Anthropic is one of the big company in the AI world. And that company has done a research based on so many conversations, 1 million conversations with the different professionals, peoples, recruiters, and all those things. And they published a paper in March 2026. So my presentation today is based on this March 2026 paper, but I just don't want to sit on this only one paper. So I did some more information. I gathered some more information from the Yale research, Harvard research, and other top university research papers. And everywhere I have found similar information where they say like 10 to 15% of the jobs are being reduced and 20 to 30% of jobs are being created. So overall, there is some number of job creation because of the AI. So that is the bottom line. We are trying to understand from this whole research conversations. It can be Anthropic research, it can be Yale research or Harvard research or any other research. So which jobs are going to get wiped out soon? That is the problem we are trying to address. We are all really enthusiastic. We are all really nervous because we want to know whether my job is going to be going out or not. And if I am trying to learn something, whether I have to learn some technology or some skill, which technology, if I am trying to learn, which technology I have to learn, if I am trying to learn skill, which skill I have to learn. These are the things we are trying to understand. So 75% of the programmers can be automated. So the AI says, this research says that 75% of the IT programmers or developers can be automated by AI, which means the people who are already working in IT field, they are having a comfortable job, and 75% of them can be replaced by AI. So that is the prediction. Prediction means in next 2 years, next 5 years, next 10 years, these things might happen. So that is the prediction. That doesn't mean the existing programmers who are working today, next day morning, they are going to lose their job. No. Can they convert their profile to something else? Yes. And what they can do, what they are supposed to do. What they are supposed to do is they are supposed to learn how to automate their work and how to utilize AI in their day-to-day job. That is the thing they have to understand. I'll give an example. In 1995, in 1997, when I just started my career, when I just uh, completed my engineering, uh, in every office, there used to be a position called accountant. So in those days, the accountant used to sit in an office, take all the papers, do the analysis on paper, and write everything on a paper, use the calculator to do the calculations, and create the tables, tabular structures, and do the sum of the information. For example, a banking accountant, a office accountant, treasury office accountant, or civil engineering office accountant. All these accountants, they are doing the calculations. The calculation can be a material calculation, the calculation can be a money calculation. All those calculations they used to do on a paper. But in 99, 2000, 2005, slowly the computers came and all these numbers were fed into computer, and the computer was easily telling and accurately telling and quickly telling What are the numbers? For example, how many uh, screws I have in a factory, how many screws we have already used. If it is a shop, for example, Reliance shop, how many eggs I have, how many sold, and how many I need, and what is the demand in last 6 months, how many I sold. All those numbers, computer is helping the accountant. Accountant job is not gone. It is still there. But that accountant is giving more work, more useful data, more meaningful data using the computers. So in last 10, 15 years, 20 years, the accountants became more productive because of the use of computers. So if the programmers want to stay in the market, still become a programmer, they have to use the AI and become more productive, and their job is there. That's why it says 75% of the programmers are going to lose the job, but 25% of the programmers are going to still keep their job. How they are going to keep the job? Because they are going to use AI, and they are going to do better programming, faster programming, efficient programming. How it works? The same accountant example. From last 20, 25 years, all those accountants who used to use papers, who used to use pen and write everything on a paper and sit whole night to do the analysis of the data, that same analysis being done by the same accountant using the computers. They are not going to sit whole night doing the calculations, and still there are some errors in that. So the same thing will happen for programmers also. The programmers are going to do the programming, but they are going to use AI, and they are going to do better programming, faster programming, efficient programming. That is the bottom line. And it says 70% of the customer service representatives will be gone. Same thing here. If you are a customer service representative, you have to understand what is AI and how it is making the change and how it is going to helpful for the customer service representative. And you can also go back and tell your close relatives, your friends, if they are trying to become a customer service representative, ask them if they want to use the AI. If they know how to use AI, then definitely their job is there. But if they are not, better they find something else, because they are just starting their job. If you already have a job, then you have to understand how you can use AI in your job. That is the thing. Then it says this research, Anthropic research says 75% of the data entry operators can be automated. I'll give an example for this. Like 10, 15 years ago, there was one project. The project was, uh, these days in India, the CSR is happening. And what is the CSR means? It's all about electoral rolls. Who is having the vote in which booth, in which constituency, assembly constituency, parliamentary constituency, and in that particular constituency, how many male people are there, female people are there, different combinations, right? So the project was to read the data coming from the election commission and find out this information for one particular political party. Because for Congress party, they want to understand the data. BJP want to understand the data. In Telangana, there is a KCR party, BRS party. So every party wants to understand who are the constituents and what is the data, who are the voters. So the project was to read those papers and understand the information and analyze the information. So that is the project. And if you want to automate that project, okay, the easy solution, the existing solution in those days, like 10, 15 years ago, someone has to sit at home, read those papers, enter the data into Excel sheet and do the analysis. Or they are going to enter the data in some kind of a form, and that form will save the data into a database, and we do the analysis on the database. So that is the data entry operator job. The data entry operator job means read from the file, read from the paper, and type in computer. That was the data entry operator job. And how it can be automated? If you just go to Google and try to find out, there is a optical character reading, OCR. So OCR was the developing technology like 5, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was not there. But today in 2026, the OCR is very common, and it used to do a lot of errors before, but these days it's not making a lot of errors. So if you give any paper, it is going to read what is written in that paper. If you give a PDF document, if you scan a paper on a computer and give that scanned document, PDF document or an image to a OCR, it is going to read optical character reading. It is going to read the characters and it is give you most accurate information. Even today, it might be making some errors. That is why there are 33% jobs still available. 67% jobs are gone. It may be making some still errors. That's why there are 33% of the data entry operator jobs available going forward next 5, 10 years. Because once the data is read from those papers or those PDF documents, someone has to do the verification whatever is read is correct or not. So that's why you need those 33% jobs are still there. 67% of the data entry operators will be gone. So if someone is a data entry operator today, what they have to do is they have to use the AI tools to read the data from those PDF documents or images or whatever it is, and they have to foster them. They have to make use of these AI tools and become efficient, and their jobs are there, and they are the 33% out of 100%. 67% are gone. And what are the other important areas where this AI might impact them is financial analysts, copywriters, technical writers, tax preparers. So if we want to discuss more about on this particular bullet point, who are the technical writers? Technical writers are the people in the office. They understand the software and they create a manual or a what is called help pages. For example, when you go to a Bank of America or ICICI Bank or something, and people who are new to that bank, they just open an account, they don't know how to use that whole page. So someone has to write the story. Okay, go to this particular text box, enter your information. If you want to transfer money from one account to another account, here is the menu. So these all information, they are going to create the help pages. They are the technical writers. And also when they develop some software, that software needs to have some information, right? So how many modules you have in each module, what are the different components you have, all that information they are going to write in a document. That is called technical writer. So technical writer is a white collar job in software industry right now as we speak, but their job is vulnerable because of AI. But if they are smart people, if they understand how to use AI, their job is still there. And copywriters, tax preparers, there are a lot of people who work as a tax preparers, like a CA in India, CPA in US. What they do, they understand your financial portfolio and they will enter all the numbers. How much money did you earn? Where did you spend? What are your expenses? And how much tax you have to pay? All these things they will understand. But if they are not AI savvy, if they don't know what is AI, if they don't know how to use AI, then their job is vulnerable and they might lose their job. That is what this research says, the Anthropic research says. uh, Medium to high impact area. So first four bullet points: the programmers, customer service representatives, data entry operators, financial analysts, tax preparers, technical writers. These four areas, what they are telling is these jobs, these four areas are high impact areas. These four areas are high impact area. High means 60% or 70% or more than 70%. And if you look at the top statement, they are saying 14% of young workers are getting reduced. So there is another problem for the industry. Of course, it may not be a problem for you and me, but for the whole industry. What is happening is they are hiring less number of young people or fresh graduates. What happens after 10, 15 years, there won't be experienced people in the industry. So they are also scared. The employers are scared. The companies are scared. The corporations are scared, right? So coming back to my original topic, the high impact areas are these areas: the programmers, customer service representatives, and data entry operators, technical writers, tax preparers, financial analysts. These are the areas where there is a high impact of AI, artificial intelligence. But in these areas, if someone is already there, they have to understand how the AI works and they have to start using the AI. In these four areas, if some young people are planning to come, the hiring will be less. The competition will be more. So if you are planning to get into these four areas, you have to be really competitive. You have to do a lot of hard work to get into, because the hiring is reduced by 14%. 14% is a big number, but still there are 86% hiring going on in these four high impact areas based on anthropic research. So the next is medium to high impact. So here the impact is little less, but still there is an impact of AI: office support, administration support, legal assistant, and paralegal. So legal assistant and paralegal, these two areas, there is a medium impact or little more than medium. Medium means, for example, 50% or 45%, and medium to high means it can be 55%. So who are these people? The legal assistant means in a law office, in lawyer's office, in advocate's office, there are people, they do all the preparation for any case, any legal case, in any court case. So they have to collect the data, they have to talk to people, they have to gather the information about law, about previous judgments, about this particular case, and what are the case facts, what are the investigations. If it's a criminal case, what is the police investigation, what was the crime, when it happened, what the data collected, what was the evidence collected. All that analysis they have to do. If they can use AI, they are going to keep their job. And if young people who are planning to get into this particular area, the impact is not 14%, but it is little less. How much less, they did not give the number, but they are saying it is medium to high impact area. And medium impact areas, the sales representatives, management analysts, and management consultants. So in these areas, the people have to go in the field and talk to people, interact with people, and collect the information. In this area, the impact is, AI impact is less. Less means medium. Summary here is, out of all these information, the high risk areas are the business and finance, the 88%. Computer and mathematics is 94% impact. And the legal is 77% impact. And office and administration is 90% impact. So these are the different areas where there is a AI impact as per anthropic research. This anthropic research is also telling us there are some areas where the jobs have no impact of AI. No means zero impact, almost zero. And as per the anthropic research, these zero impact areas have no impact of AI up to 2034. Next 8 years, that's what saying. After 2034, what happens? They don't know. Anthropic don't know. But my hunch is the robotics will come. How it is going to affect? So the zero impact areas, what they are telling is the physical trades. Physical areas are trade areas. For example, cook, motorcycle mechanic, construction worker, plumber, electrician, farm worker. These are the areas where the AI is doing nothing right now in 2026. And till 2034, The AI is not going to do anything to these areas. That is what the AI research, the anthropic research tells us. But there is another department called robotics, and almost every company, every university is working on robotics research. And what we understood from those research teams, I had an interaction with a robotics professor, and the robotics professor says in next 10 or 15 years, many of these physical trades will be automated using the robotics. For example, cook. So recently, like few years ago, like 4 or 6 years ago, they created a robot. What that robot is going to do is, in many of our cultures, mom is the one who is going to cook the food in the home. So they created a mom robot. What it will do is, it is going to just follow the mom's instructions. Whatever mom is doing. Oh, first my mom is putting the pan on a cooktop or a gas stove, right? Then what mom is doing, putting some oil. Instruction number two, and wait for these many seconds, and put the flame on this, whether it is high or low or medium or something, and it is going to follow the instructions. Then mom is going to put some zira or something, and then the mom is going to put some onion. Mom is going to chop the onion. So these are the instructions. It is learning from mom and creating the exact same recipe as mom's recipe. Whatever the food mom is cooking, this mom robot is doing the same thing. So these robots are coming, they are being developed. That's why the anthropic AI research says these areas have no impact up to 2034. So people who are planning to get into this area, the cook area, they have to be careful because robots are going to come soon and take away their job also. So right now, the motorcycle mechanic, the construction workers, farm workers, plumbers, electricians, the robots are not there, and AI is having zero impact on these areas. But when the robot comes, it goes into the farm, it is going to pluck the fruits, it is going to do the seeding. For example, there is a wheat farm or a rice farm or a paddy farm. It is going to go into the field and it is going to do the farming also. The farm worker job will be replaced by 2034 or after 2034 as per anthropic research. But right now, the AI has no impact on these areas. And the in-person services like a lifeguard or bartender or barber, childcare workers, fitness trainers, nurses, these areas has no impact because of AI. Nothing is going to change up to 2034 as per anthropic research. But in these areas, again, you might see the robotics are going to come, and those robots are going to take away these jobs. For example, the nurse job, it is going to come and take care of the patient. That right now we have one nurse for like 10-15 patients, and that nurse goes to each room, attend the patient, check their blood pressure, check their medicines and everything. But going forward, if you bring the robots into picture, that robot is going to sit with the patient 24 by 7. Any day the patient says, I'm feeling pain, immediately the robot is going to do something. If the patient says, no, not the patient, but there is a monitoring device. For example, the blood pressure is going up, the robot is going to do something. The oxygen level is going down, the robot is going to do something. It is going to alert and it is going to inform the doctor or something. We don't know how many types of information the robot can gather and take the action. But robots are going to come, we don't know when. But as per the anthropic research, the nurses have zero impact for next 8 years or 10 years, 2034, that is the number. Similarly, lifeguards. Lifeguard is the one who is going to sit at the swimming pool or the beach or something. When people are drowning, it is going to go and save. That is the job of a lifeguard. But if the robot comes, the robot might be just monitoring the people, and if someone is drowning, it may be inside the water itself, and it is going to lift the person and save the people. So lifeguard job might be gone when these kind of robots come into existence. But right now, these jobs are safe, and AI has no impact, zero impact. The next job type which has zero impact is a skilled craft, like a dishwasher, dressing room attendant, landscaper, janitorial staff. And these jobs can again be taken away by the robots. But AI has no impact on these jobs. For example, janitorial people. How, you might have heard there is a called vacuum cleaner, uh, iRobot, and Roomba is the name, commercial name of that robot, and it goes entire home. It learns about the home, where is the furniture, where is the table. It is not going to hit the same furniture every day. Once it hit the furniture, it understands, oh, there is a furniture here. If there is a table in your room, it is going to understand, oh, there is a table here, and it is going to keep everything in its memory, and it is going to do the cleaning. So janitorial staff job is already taken by one of the robot, not 100%, because the janitorials will go and clean the bathroom, clean the showers, clean the wash basins, and it can do dry cleaning, wet cleaning, sweeping, mopping, lot of things the janitorial people will do. But those kind of robots are not available right now, and AI has no impact on those jobs right now. Landscaping people, the people who go and cut the grass, cut the trees, shrubs, plants, those jobs are not impacted by AI. But when the robot comes, it might take away. Dishwashers, we already have a dishwashing machine, and uh, we just load the dishwasher and it is going to do all the cleaning of the dishes. But still there are a lot of dishwasher jobs, especially in the commercial industry, hotel industry, entertainment industry. Those jobs still there, and the AI has no impact till 2034 as per Anthropic research. And human judgment roles, the courtroom lawyers, surgeons, emergency responders, and social workers, these jobs have zero impact because of AI. But soon there might be impact. If you see in the previous slide, the paralegal has a lot of impact, like a medium impact of AI, because the AI can read all the judgments, analyze all the judgments, previous cases, and whatever the data, research data, whatever the investigation, police investigation in criminal cases, all can be done using AI. But the lawyer has to go to court and represent. There has to be a human being standing in front of the judge. So that job has zero impact. But not every lawyer goes and stands. And when the lawyer stands in the court, they do a lot of research. They come up with a lot of information to present in the court. And the presentation will be done by the lawyer. And AI has zero impact. But preparation behind the scenes, there is a AI impact on that, like paralegal. Same thing for the surgeons. Surgeon is going to do the surgery, but all the data required for the surgeon can be analyzed using the AI. And recently, my mom was having a knee replacement surgery here in US, and the doctor was using a robot assist. It's called robot assisted surgery. So robot is going to analyze the leg and understand in which direction the surgery has to happen, how much it has to be cut, where it has to be cut, and what kind of replacement equipment they have to use, what size they have to use. All the analysis will be done by the robot, and it is helping the surgeon. Again, the robots are coming here, not the AI. Today's presentation is about AI impact, but I am adding robots flavor to that. So here the surgeon is using the robot, and surgeon is doing the surgery, but robot is helping the surgeon. Okay, we'll go to next. Okay, the next question is, if there is an impact of AI, till now we were talking about how the AI is going to replace the existing jobs. Now the question is, Whether the AI is creating new jobs or not, yes. In the first slide itself, we saw 13%, 12%, 14% jobs are reduced, 20% of jobs are created. So which jobs are being created for next 10 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years? So AI and ML engineers, artificial intelligence software has to be written by someone. It has to be created by someone. It has to be tested by someone. Those engineers are required and they are going to hire. And machine learning engineers, because all these things, all the AI what we are talking about, it's all a machine and it is learning something. And who has to do that? There will be ML engineers and prompt engineers. Prompt engineers, what is prompt engineer? You have a software, it is going to listen to you like a assistant, and you have to tell that assistant. For example, you have a worker at home, and that worker can do anything, but you have to give the instructions. Go and wash the dishes. Okay, I'm done with washing the dishes. Now go and cut the grass. Now you go and cut the plants. You have to clean the house. So you have to give instructions one after the other. Those are the prompt engineers. You have a artificial intelligence system, and that artificial intelligence system, for example, ChatGPT, you go and tell that ChatGPT, you have to create an image. I need a logo, and the logo has to have these colors. I like the blue color. I like the green color. My client likes the green color. And you have to create a logo for an agricultural department. So it has to have a plant. It has to have a water. It has to have some environment thing like a cloud. So you give the instructions. Those instructions are called prompt. And the prompt engineers are required. The companies are going to hire them. Building and fine tuning and deploying the AI systems. So AI system has to be built by humans. AI system has to be fine tuned by humans. The AI system has to be deployed. It can be automated, but the deployment process has to be monitored, and someone has to see whether the deployment is done or not. Someone has to initiate the deployment. Someone has to schedule at what time the deployment has to start. And when the deployment is done, someone has to verify whether the deployment was successfully done or not. That is where you still need some humans. Earlier you used to have 50, now maybe 5, but you still need humans there. So those humans are being hired in AI world. So AI is still creating the jobs to build the AI, to fine tune the AI, to deploy the AI, to make sure it works. That is where we need human beings, and there is a hiring. AI product managers. What the AI product managers will do, they are going to define what the AI agent has to do, what is the roadmap for the AI agent, and they are going to manage the humans and AI workflows. So there has to be interaction between AI and a human, and that management has to be done by AI product managers. So there will be hiring in AI world as an AI product manager to do these tasks. And ethics and safety. When we introduce AI, we want to make sure it is not going to be harmful for the human race, because human beings are very important compared to any machine, any AI, any software. So AI have to be safe to humans, and that has to be taken care by a human being again. And whether the ethics are followed or not, again, the human has to see. And there will be AI governance, AI policy design, all these things, policy have to be framed using a human being. That is where the industry, the IT industry, the software industry, the corporate industry, the government organizations, they are going to hire people for AI safety and AI ethics. And human AI workflow designers, they have to design the business processes to integrate the AI augmentation. We need people. We need people to define the workflow, design the system, and integrate with the AI. So that is where we still need people. And the AI, the IT industry, the corporate industry is going to hire people for this workflow design. Data curators annotators, and this is where we need people. In simple language, it is called a data scientist role. So we still need the data scientists. So these data scientists are going to check the quality of the data and find out how to improve the quality, because when you receive the data, there will be different types of data. For example, I'm trying to receive the data for people, humans, person data, right? Many of us, when we were doing the IT jobs or computer jobs, we used to have a person. So person is having a person first name, last name, address, phone number, email address. This is the person information. But there are some persons, they don't have a last name. Some persons who don't have a first name. How to deal with that? These days, a lot of people who came to US, many of the people, when you go to their passport, there will be either surname or given name. They don't have both. So how to deal with that data? Humans will decide how to deal with the data. For example, in US, there is address first line, address second line, then you have a city, state, and zip code. Some people have second line, some people don't have second line in their address. Some people don't have a zip code in their address. How to deal with the data? Humans will decide how to deal with the data. That is called data curator or annotator. In another language, we call them as a data engineer or data scientist. Shoaib? Okay. So that is another job. And AI integrators and AI consultants. So these are the people, enterprises adopt the AI across operations. So AI integration consultants they need. Integration consultant means there is a company which has developed their own AI product. Another company created their own AI product. And these two AI products have to be integrated. Otherwise, within the company itself, there are two different departments: sales department, customer service department, service department, uh, training department, like four departments in a company. These four departments have their own AI systems, and those AI systems have to integrate with each other. To integrate those AI softwares or AI systems, we need a consultant, and those consultants will be hired by the industry. Uh, Healthcare industry, it is creating new jobs here. Uh, there are some jobs in healthcare industry which cannot be automated. For example, just now we were talking about the nurse. Nurse is going to check the blood pressure. But if the blood pressure is going up, if the oxygen level is going down, if something else is happening, there has to be a human, and that human has to take everything into control or take some action. And those actions cannot be automated using the AI. And that is where you still need humans. And if you see the top, this whole thing is talking about next 5 to 10 years. After 10 years, what happens? We don't know right now. So as per the anthropic research, these are the areas where the new white collar jobs are emerging. So what we can do, what actions we have to take. And anyway, I covered that aspect already in my previous slides, but as per anthropic, what the anthropic is saying is next, within 3 months, learn how to work with AI. You have to master your tools. It can be Claude, it can be Chat GPT, it can be Copilot, it can be anything else. There are many automated systems, many LLMs, many AI systems already developed by different companies. Every company is promoting their own product, and you have to understand those AI tools and how to use those tools. You have to learn. You have to become a person who uses the AI, and don't become a person which is going to be replaced. I have given one example: optical character reader. It is reading the documents, it is reading the PDF files, it is reading the papers, it is reading the scanned images or scanned PDF files. And if you know how to use that software, your job is there. If you don't know how to use, you are going to lose the job. So that is the thing we have to do immediately, depending upon what is our profile, what we are doing right now. You have to audit your own tasks and try to find out what can be automated. For example, I'm working as a developer. For example, I'm working as an accountant. For example, I'm working as a nurse. For example, I'm working as a paralegal. Which of my tasks can be automated? And identify those tasks and see how it cannot be automated. What are the things which cannot be automated? And you have to master those skills. For example, if I go back to my example of accountant in 1995 or 1990, the accountant used to use paper, pen, and write everything on a paper and do the calculations using a calculator. If you go to 1960, 1950, there was no calculator. People were not using the calculator, but they used to do everything with their own hand, their own mind. The calculator came, their work became faster, and few things got automated. What is the automated? Summing up those numbers is automated. Multiplication was automated using the calculator. But when computer came, few more things got automated. Now AI came. What are the different tasks which can be automated using the AI that you have to audit yourself? And they have given one website. There's a ONET website. If you go to ONET framework website online, it is going to ask what are the things you are doing. It is going to analyze and it is going to tell what can be automated using the AI. The last bullet point here is the upskill in AI adjacent areas. It is talking about the IT here. So you have to learn some Python basics, learn SQL, data literacy, prompt engineering, understanding of LLM. All these things you have to do to immediately upskill yourself and try to become AI savvy, or you're going to use the AI to automate the things. Next 3 to 12 months, what are you going to do? What actions we have to take? Move up the value chain, shift from execution. For example, you are writing the code right now, or you are a technical writer in a company, or you're drafting the reports. From there, you have to move up and become a strategist. You have to take the judgments. You have to do the decision making process. This is what they are recommending. Anthropic is recommending people, if you are right now drafting the reports or creating the sheets or something, or writing the code, you have to become a strategist, and you have to become a person who is going to take the judgments, who is going to make the judgments, because AI is not going to do that. You have to make the decision whether we have to deploy the code today or tomorrow. AI is not going to decide. AI is going to deploy the code, but you are the one who is going to decide whether it is going to deploy today morning, tomorrow morning, when it has to be deployed. Whether it is ready for deployment or not, you are going to make that decision. So you have to come into that role. That's what they are recommending in next 3 to 12 months. And build the domain expertise. So combination of deep industry knowledge. For example, you are working for a bank as a developer. You are working for a bank as a technical writer. You are working in a bank as a some data entry operator. From there, you have to become a domain expert. For example, healthcare industry, in legal industry, you have to become expert in that domain. I used to work for a health insurance company. And after working 5 years, I understood what is the enrollment means, what is the claim means, and how the claims comes, and what are the errors might be there in the claims, and how to approve them, how to reject them, how to analyze them. A lot of information I have learned after working for 5 years. That is called industry knowledge or domain expertise. So we have to build the domain expertise within ourselves. That is what they are recommending for next 3 to 12 months, when this AI is still emerging. Uh, Pursue the AI certifications. So people who are already in the industry, they can do some certifications. It can be a product school, Google AI, deep learning, AI courses, anything. Wherever there is a AI certifications, if you do AI certifications, you might be having your job. If your current job is gone, you might find another job because you have a AI certification. That is the recommendation from Anthropic. Network into AI focused companies. Target firms actively building the AI products and going into AI transformation. So that is their recommendation. The company which is working on AI, the company which is hiring AI, the company which is adopting AI, you have to try to find a job in those industries. That is the recommendation from this whole research. Long term, what we have to do? Long term means next 5 years, next 3 years, something like that. Embrace the continuous learning, because AI is not perfect right now in 2026. It came in 2024, 25, 26. So it is emerging like a chat GPT 1, chat GPT 2, 3, 4. So it is learning, it is emerging. How it is emerging, we have to emerge like that. So whenever it is expanding, it is becoming more faster, then you have to learn and beat it. So that is what we have to do. It's called continuous learning. And it is learning more, we will learn more. Learning more, we will learn more. So we have to have a continuous learning in long term. And there is one uh, special note for the young workers, people between age between 22 to 25, what they are supposed to do. Entry level hiring in exposed roles is slowing. Any role which is exposed to AI, the hiring is slow. For example, we were talking about those programmers or paralegals. The hiring is becoming less in young people category. Hiring is still there in the senior category, but in the young category, that the hiring is slow. So what they are supposed to do is differentiate with AI native skills, portfolio projects, hands-on AI agent building experience. If you have these things in your resume, in your profile, you might be having a job. That is their recommendation in long term. And think the AI augmentation, not the replacement. What they are saying is 52% of the current AI use is augmentation. Augmentation means there is a human, there is a AI. You are going to have a human aspect of it and AI aspect of it, both. And position yourself as someone who orchestrates the AI, not the not you're not going to compete with the AI. So these are the long-term recommendations from Anthropic research. I think we are done here. If you have any questions, we can open up. Uh, Shoaib.